Hi everyone, I thought I would come online. We have had a few questions about crate training in the last couple of weeks, and here's the thing, some of the advice being given is well-meaning, I'm sure it's well-meaning, but I want to make it clear, I'm not pro-crate, I'm not anti-crate. I use crates a lot in my own dog's lives, but here's the thing, I'm pro-dog. I'm pro the fact that we're having a relationship with an animal and we want to make that relationship as fair as we possibly can from both sides, okay? So, I want to show you what I do with my puppies, okay? So no judgment on what other people might be doing or whatever, but I want to show you what I do with my puppies with this, how old are you now? 6-7-year-old miniature poodle, who is renowned within our family for not having very much self-control. Is that, I know she looks innocent and all sweet things, but yeah, no self-control at all. So here's what I do, and here's the thing about the results of what I get because of doing it like this. I get a dog that is very trusting of being left in a crate, okay? So they don't howl for hours, all right? So it's not a question of battle of wills and me waiting them out and trying to stop them, screaming their heads off in the crate. They don't do it in the first place, okay? The crate is not a negative place for them to be. The crates are something that I use in my vehicle in order that everybody travels safely and happily when we are, going any distance at all, really. So it's kind of a safety place there as well. The crates are quite often used when we are doing training. So if I have 2 or 3 dogs out, then what I will do is I will have one dog out training and maybe the other one in a crate. But again, here's the thing, the dog is not being shut in the crate, the dog is being asked, can you stay in your crate with the door open? And the dog's saying, yeah, I can hang out here for you, that's fine as well, all right? I also think it can be helpful, certainly we've had reports from people when they've dropped off their sort of adolescent dog that might be going in for neutering, that when they get left at the vet's, they're going to have to be put into some sort of holding area. It may not be a crate like this, but it certainly will be some sort of area where they have to, settle down. I think it can be a really useful thing to teach our dogs, all right? So, if you want to use a crate, please have a think about, this is how I would start my dogs off. So first and foremost, I need to give credit for this first idea. This is not something that I've actually done with my puppies in the past. This is an idea I got from Jo Rosie Haffenden. It was a video that I happened to catch online of hers. So the very first thing, particularly if you have a dog that has negative feelings about the crate, what I want you to do is, I want you to use reverse psychology, all right? So what I want you to do is, I want you to find something that the dog wants, and I want you to pop it into the crate, okay? So I've got some biscuits in the crate. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a chew in the crate, okay? And oh my gosh, I have some cocktail sausages here. I think I'm going to break up some cocktail sausages. I'm going to pop those in the crate. Oh my gosh, this is looking hot. I know, this is looking really good. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying, being in the crate is a really cool place to be, but you can't go in there. No, you don't want to go in there. Oh my gosh, and there's one of those, and let me just see, like, I know, we've got this one here. I was a drama student at school, you may or may not be able to tell, but I want you to just have fun with this, and oh, I know, look, I got that one, that one, and that one, and that one. So to start with, what we're saying is, oh, all these good things are, I know, it's something, yeah, I see. And then we're going to turn away from it. All right? Now, you will see probably in a minute, Riz getting a little bit frustrated with me, but hang on a minute, she wants to get in the damn crate, thank you very much, all right? Now, to be fair to her, she is trying very hard to be like, oh, I can be polite, I can be controlled. I'm actually going to allow her to show a little bit of frustration because I want you to see the benefits of what it looks like when you perhaps do this with your puppy at home. I want this to be a place that you say you can't go to begin with, all right? So actually, dog is really, really interested. So when you do finally turn around, in a second I will in a moment, when you do finally turn around and go, oh, would you like to go in there? Would you like to go in? That actually, here we go. So she's saying, I would like to go in, all right? Ready? Steady. Okay, here you go, super, okay? So what I'm going to allow her to do is just to go in there. She's going to be allowed to gobble up the treats, and the door is going to remain open, so it's a place of, she doesn't have to stay in there, but there's food going on in there, all right? And what I would do if she was a dog that didn't like the crate, or a dog that had not done any crate training at all, I would want to do this several different times before I thought about shutting the crate door, okay? So if I had a dog that I knew was like, I do not like being in that place, I do not like being enclosed, then I would look to do this a few times, okay? So that's first and foremost. So she's got some interesting things, and she's just, I love how, I don't know if you've noticed, she's gone around, she's eaten the cocktail sausages first, then the dried sausage, and then she's finally gone for the dry kibble as well, okay? Yeah, miniature poodles are quite discerning in that respect. So I have a dog that kind of likes being in there. While she's gobbling those up, I might throw some extra treats in and just say, hey, you know what? This is like the most magical place in the whole house, all right? Because this magical place is like regenerating treats, and it's regenerating bits of sausage and other good things, all right? So that's the first and most important bit. And then you can see she's not leaving the crate because she understands actually, she's been trained not to leave the crate until she hears her release word. Ready? Okay. She says, I don't even want to come out on my release word. I like being in here because there's lots of good things. Do you want to try it once more? Paddy. Yes. Okay. Good girl. So you get one piece of sausage out here. So this, you can see, this is a dog that understands that the crate has some value to her. But, as I say, going back to, this is a new puppy that you're maybe working with at home because you're part of our practical puppy group. Todd's, can you keep your opinions to yourself, please? I know, they kind of just need the information I've got for them, darling. This may be not how it goes at home, because as I say, this is a dog that knows that the crate is a really good place to be. So what I want you to do is, okay, so I'm going to shut that crate back up, and this is the game I would have you play to start with. I would teach my puppy about how to get onto a bed, and this is how I teach getting onto a bed, all right? So I take a squishy bed, I put it between my legs, puppy comes towards me, and then I start popping treats on the bed. Now, to start with, the puppy is really only coming in towards the treats, okay? She's coming in because I have some sausage there. Ready? Okay. I throw the treats out behind in order that I set her up to come back in and do this, okay? Now, to start with, your puppy might take a bit longer than she did to get onto the bed. She's done this once or twice before. Okay. But essentially, this is how we start it off. So every time you get onto this bed, amazing things happen, okay? But we need to up the ante on this. At the moment, she's only coming in because there's treats in my hand, all right? So the next stage is, okay, I'm going to move the bed slightly further away, and as soon as she comes in towards me, I'm going to start feeding, all right? So I'm going to be ready with some more food. That's a good girl, beautiful. So there is a really high rate of reinforcement, which really surprises people when they watch me do stuff with dogs. It's a really high rate of reinforcement to begin with. It's not a question of, oh, there's one bit of sausage, good dog. It's not that at all. You know what? I want you to be relaxed and happy in both a bed, on a bed, and in a crate. So I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to tell you how wonderful you are for being able to do that. Good girly, super, ready. Okay. You notice also I'm using a word that as soon as I throw that treat, I'm saying the word okay. It's what we call a release word around here. It can be whatever you want it to be. It can be go, break, release, you know, whatever makes sense to you is fine. Okay is the word that we use. Okay. Just because it makes sense to me. Good, that is super. And what we want to get good at is we want to start getting good at, instead of hand placing the food onto the bed, we want to throw it in. So that the dog starts to understand, I can be reinforced even though, good girl, even though I'm away from you, all right? So she doesn't have to come into this sausage over here because, look, I'm throwing it in, all right? This is why it's also important to pick the type of bed that you use. I'm particularly using this funny donut shape because it has an edge. So when I throw the treats in, if they don't make it straight into her mouth, then what's happening is they're landing within the scheme of the bed. If you use a flat piece of that bed or just a flat piece of bedding, then what will quite often happen is it bounces off in all directions. I want to make sure that my dogs understand it is being in that circle that causes good things to happen, all right? Okay. So what I want to get to is my dog is reliably going onto that bed, a bit like she is now, and the rate of reinforcement has slowed down from what I'm doing now. I'm showing you this is brand new puppy owners at home. This is what I do with my puppies, all right? And what I do is I will do it before a meal time so that the puppy is hungry, and also I'm going to use a lot of food whilst I'm doing this. So I want to make sure that I'm not going to be making them feel poorly by feeding them too much, all right? So now I have a dog that loves to get onto this bed. Okay, I'm going to take this squishy bed up, and what I'm going to do is, this may not be as quick for your dog, which is why I'm holding on to Rizzo, because I want to explain to you, you know, what I would do next. So I'm going to put squishy bed into funny old crate. I'm going to get my treats at the ready. And Paddy. Good girl, super. So she's already said, I like getting onto a bed. Ha, now the bed is within the crate. Now it might be that with your dog at home, they might be like, oh, I see how this game works, you know, and they're a bit leery about wanting to go into that crate. So the other way that I might do this, ready? Okay, is I might put it half and half. Good girlie. So I might find a bed which could sort of comfortably go over the top, all right? So that the dog didn't have to feel like, okay, or even maybe in front of the crate to begin with, so they didn't feel like they had to go in the crate, all right? That there was some choice on behalf of the dog. They didn't have to do anything that they didn't want to do. Ready? Okay. Oh, let's see that one. Okay. Oh my gosh, did you not see that one? Okay. Good girl. So I'm going to pop that back in there. Okay, I know I'm going through this at like super speedy. It's because it's my grand's 93rd birthday today, and we have a birthday party to get to. So I'm sorry that this is speeded up, but you know, you can watch it again later with a notebook handy. So once I have a dog that is showing me that they like being on the bed, I've got to the point where I can sort of sit here with some food. So you can see she's not rushing out immediately. She's like, you know what? This, as far as Rizzo is concerned, is the best seat in the house. She's like, yep, this really works for me. I'm going to do things like I'm going to drop the treats in from above as well as from the side. So good things are happening all of the time. I'm then going to start thinking about, all right, so I'm going to shut this crate door. So when I shut this crate door for the first time, I'm going to have a bunch of treats at the ready. Good girl. Okay. Good girl. Super. I'm going to send her on into that bed, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a load of treats in after her. It's really important, guys, when we get to this stage, the dog is doing the action, i.e. getting into the crate, getting onto the bed, and then the food comes in afterwards. If you throw the food in first, your dog will be in the crate. It will be in its bed, but it won't have chosen to do that. It will be doing it because there was food. It's really just following a piece of food. Right, ready and Teddy and Paddy. Bed. Yes, good girl. Super. All right. So at that point, I've thrown in a load of treats after she's gone in. She's snuffling them up. At this point, what I might do is, especially with a puppy, this is what I do a lot of, there's a magazine, like, you know, get really comfy and sit here. Oh no.
Back.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. We had a bit of a breaking connection. So all I was saying was that when I get to this stage and the crate door is shut, I've got my book, I've got my magazine, and what I'm doing is I'm kind of absent-mindedly reading like this. My attention is away from the dog. I'm not staring at the dog. I'm concentrating on my magazine or my book, and just every so often I'm dropping down some food. Okay, so I'm saying that when this crate door is shut, I don't run off and I don't abandon you. You don't need to panic, all right, or get stressed or worried. What's going to happen is good things are going to keep happening, all right? But here is the thing that goes wrong with crate training, and this is the thing that I would want all people to avoid if I could possibly help it, and why I've slotted in, like I don't have very much time today, but I wanted to do this video. Crates should not be prisons for dogs, all right? They should be places where dogs can relax and chill out in happily whilst you go off and do other things. But if you have a new baby puppy that you're bringing home for the first time, life is just completely thrown up in the air for them. Depending on your breeder, your puppy may be coming into a household environment instead of maybe having been outside in a kennel. It might be that your puppy is having to get used to children for the first time if your breeder didn't have children. It could be that your dog was bred in the country and you live in an urban environment, so they're having to get used to those things as well. Here's the thing from my perspective. My puppy and I are in this together, because what I'm hoping is that we are going to have a really, really long life together. And I would like that life to be as happy and stress-free for both of us as possibly can be. When I say to my dog, I shut them in the crate and I wander off and they start screaming and screeching and all the rest of it, what I'm basically saying to that dog is it's a battle of wills, all right? And I'm going to win this battle because I'm not going to go back and let you out of that crate until you stop screeching, all right? It doesn't need to be like that. It really, really does not need to be like that, okay? It can be considerate. It can be fair and kind and all of those good things. And it should be, really. because what I know is there are going to be times in my dog's lives when they do have to do things that they don't really want to do. So maybe they're at the vet's and they need to have a thermometer popped up their bottom, or like this week my dog's been for a hearing test and she needed to sit still while they held things close to her ears and they stuck needles into her head. All right, not in a like big needles, but you know, needles all the same. You know, there are going to be times where dogs do have to do things that maybe they wouldn't voluntarily choose to do, but it shouldn't be like that about every single thing, and it shouldn't be about a battle. What I know is that this dog would trust me to do difficult things because I'm fair about the other things, okay? So in this instance, I can take you through this process, I can make sure that this is a happy, safe space for you, and then they are next to the bed, all right? They are next to the bed, they are not downstairs away from me. You know what? They've just come into a completely brand new environment. What I don't want to do is I don't want to say, see ya! You know, like you just kind of starting to bond with me and then I suddenly disappear and leave you as well. That just seems a little bit too much. So, first week probably, the puppy is up in my room. It starts off with a chair by my bed, so it's raised up so it can see me, then goes down on the floor, then moves a little bit further away from the bed, then moves out onto the landing until eventually puppy's downstairs, okay? After about a week, when they've got the handle on, this is what's going on, all right? If you move through those stages too quickly, your puppy will tell you about it. They will probably kick off in one way, shape or form. That might be screaming, crying, barking. It could be chewing. It could be, I know that we've had, one of the puppies in the group has been chewing a lot of furniture and doing a lot of damage. Puppies quite often chew, I mean there's lots of reasons why puppies chew and I'm not going to go too much into that, but when animals are stressed, when dogs are stressed, they will quite often chew to alleviate that feeling of stress. So what they will be doing is, did I drop one? I'm sorry, there we go, there's a couple more. They will be chewing because it releases endorphins, which make them feel better. So when they are anxious, unhappy or stressed, they will chew to make themselves feel better. So if we can avoid them feeling anxious, unhappy and stressed, then they won't chew so much, okay? And there are reasons why puppies need to chew because of their teeth and, as I say, other things. But I wanted to make this video mostly about crate training. So hopefully that's answered some of the questions we had out there. I have 2 more minutes. Has anybody any questions on any of the stuff that I went through? Whoosh, like that. Okay, no more questions. Perfect. If you do have any other questions after we come off live, no problem at all. Just drop them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them at some point in the next couple of days. I'm afraid this weekend is just a busy weekend because it's the bank holiday weekend, but hopefully that will make everybody's weekend a little bit nicer with their puppies. So yeah, hope that helps. Right then, good to talk to you all. Catch up with you all again soon. Have a good weekend. Bye.